Wait until you see what I did with this shower curtain. I grabbed some 1/2-inch PVC pipe and fittings. I connected the 7-foot piece with an elbow and one of the 3-foot sections, and then I added a T-fitting to the bottom of the 3-foot section and connected another 3-foot piece straight down and a 7-foot one across. At the bottom, I connected another T-fitting with the 1-foot piece and the 2-foot piece on either sides. I repeated the same layout for the other side and then stood it up. Although it did stand okay, I would recommend trying 1-inch PVC pipe for a more sturdy base. Then I added a plain white shower curtain with shower curtain rings that I had thrifted. I grabbed some fishing line and I tied it to the top of the PVC, and then I tied dry florals to it about 1 foot apart, going all the way down. I left about a foot or so gap at the bottom so the flowers didn't hit the floor. I love how you can customize this photo backdrop to whatever your party, wedding, or event theme is. I hope this inspires you to get creative with PVC pipe and shower curtains. Thanks for watching Home Talk, and see you in the next video.
First thing we're going to need to do is take a pool noodle and just put a slice right down the center of it. We're going to use this to add it on top of your hula hoop. So I'm just going to take a couple zip ties just to make sure I secure the pool noodle onto the hula hoop. Now we're going to go ahead and add some florals to the hula hoop. And I'm just going to take a zip tie and zip it on. Next, we're going to just go around and fill in all the other places with some beautiful florals and greenery because we want to cover up the pool noodle. Now I've taken a ribbon and had 3 strands cut evenly and tie this onto here so that way this design will hang.
I'm going to start with a zip tie, and I'm going to place that on the top of my chair and secure it like so. I'm going to take my cutters, I'm going to trim the stem and snip it. We're going to just snip them off into smaller pieces. Now we're going to take our greenery that we've already pre-cut and we're going to work them in opposite direction. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our sunflowers. We're going to place one in one direction, another in the opposite direction, and our third kind of somewhere in the middle. We also have a few of those leaves that we can work in at this point too. And I'm just feeding the zip tie through my hand and securing it from the front and snip off the excess. Now I'm going to take an extra zip tie and secure it to the original zip tie and the swag itself. Now it's time to fluff this out.
I'm going to just start and wrap this over and under the front edge. I'm going to take my wisteria and I'm going to lay it here the way I want, and then I'm just going to take zip ties. Those will hold securely even in the wind. I'm just going to tuck that down out of the way for right now. Now these are more like a wisteria bush, and I'm going to spread this out a little, and I'm just going to add this one right to the middle in the front right here. And I'm just going to continue to add these right along the front like so. I bought some beautiful silk peony bushes, and I'm going to cut them apart, spread these out, and I'm going to tuck these right in for some beautiful color.
I found these candlestick holders. Now I'm going to come back in with a very generous amount of hot glue. So after giving that a few minutes, we can design with some flowers and greenery. And lastly, our element of surprise, and that involves a charger plate. Here we have a child's hula hoop that we picked up at the dollar store. So in order to secure our flowers, we're going to have to work in a pool noodle. And all we're going to do is cut through one side of the pool noodle. So what we're going to do is open it up and work it right inside the hula hoop. And we're going to circulate the pool noodle all the way around. So once you get all the way around, you're going to notice that we have a little spot missing. We're going to cut into a second pool noodle and do the same exact process. We can just take some tape and we're going to secure the 2 pieces together. Now I just have some white satin ribbon. To secure it, I'm going to use a couple floral pins and I'm going to add some hot glue to the ends to really make sure it's nice and permanent. Now what we can do is start wrapping this. Now it's time to enhance this, and all we're going to do is snip off each individual stem. I added a generous amount of hot glue, and all we're going to do is just lift up the ribbon and poke it right in. Up next, we have some dogwood flowers. Now I have this hanging foliage, so we're going to take it, add a little bit of hot glue, just working it underneath the ribbon. To hang this up, I'm going to use some of our wire.
Head to your local Dollar Tree and grab a candlestick, some small plastic plates, a styrofoam block, and some floral pieces. First, you'll want to attach the top of the plate to the candlestick. I just use simple hot glue for this. Then you're going to want to spray paint the piece to the color of your liking. Let it dry completely and then attach the styrofoam block to the finished paper plate. I use B7000 glue for this. Then remove all the stems from the floral pieces using wire cutters. You can then attach these floral pieces into the styrofoam block all around the plate.
Just what I need for my latest project, hula hoops. Take some metallic paint that's made for plastics. I'm going to paint these gold. Now you're going to want to get some kind of a clear sealer spray with a light coat of the glaze. Right here, we're going to drill a hole in each side. I'm going to put one hoop inside the other and try and line up my holes where I have drilled. And I'm going to go outside and push all the way through, and then I'm going to push it through the next one. So I have it through 2 hoops. There we go. I had it through all 3, and then before it slips back off, I'm going to put a nut on that. And when I paint these, this will get painted also. I'm going to take a dollar store decorative cake tray and put a small hole in it. It's on high temperature, and I'm just going to put it right in the middle of there. And that is probably all we need. And now I'm going to try and put this right over top of that. Take some Gorilla Clear Grip contact adhesive to secure the plate right here to my hula hoop. And I'm going to put a generous amount wherever these hoops meet. I have just hung it from my garage door with some wire. So now I can go to work on the easy part. The construction of this was the hard part.
Grab 2 paper towel holders and some faux flowers from the Dollar Tree. Press a foam block down into one of the paper towel holders. Flip the other paper towel holder over and press it into the foam block again. Attach the 2 paper towel holders with some floral wire or some zip ties. Cut the large stems from the faux flowers and start placing the flowers all over the foam block. Grab another foam block and repeat this process. Finish this easy centerpiece by hanging some faux crystals for some extra glam. Hot glue that foam block on top of the paper towel holder.
I grabbed this big hula hoop from Five Below. So I'm going to take this first one, place it there. We're going to do the same thing to a second one, and we're going to place this in an opposite motion. We're going to place this on either end again. Just take our zip tie, and we're going to keep the pointy end towards the surface. We're going to just snip off our ribbon, and now it's time to create the main portion of our bow. So this is non-wired ribbon. It is a little bit different to use, as it doesn't hold its shape, but after making about 3 to 5 loops on either side, we're going to have the perfect bow, and that is good enough for me. Let's finish our final loop. To secure our bow, we're going to use a piece of wire. Take our tails that we pre-cut and just tuck them underneath our bow. Twist it secure. We can just secure that right on top of the zip tie and tie that wire together. We're going to just lift up the greenery we've already worked in, tuck it underneath, and use another zip tie to keep that in place.
First, I headed to the Dollar Tree and picked up 2 of these colanders and some zip ties and spray painted both colanders with some spray paint. Next, I used an awl and poked 3 holes in each of the colanders. Starting first on the top colander, I fed a long piece of cotton twine through a hole on the right side and fed it through a hole on the other side. Then I rotated the colander 90 degrees and fed another piece of twine through a hole a few inches from the top. I then placed the other colander on top, then fed the zip ties through those holes, starting on the inside and finishing on the outside. Next, I gathered all my flowers and greenery and started removing them from their bundles and cutting the stems to a shorter length so they would fit better in the ball. Then I started sticking the stems through the holes. Next, I secured everything with hot glue.
I've pre-soaked 1 brick of fresh floral foam. We're going to just take that and wedge it in. Now begins the fun part, and that is going to be carving your foam into kind of a conical or triangular shape. Right here we have some mini carnations, so I'm just going to snip off the top and start placing them. So the biggest ones are sticking out the furthest, and then as we kind of approach the top, we are gradually getting smaller so that we kind of create that conical topiary shape. So to create the very peak of our topiary, we're going to take a carnation, place it sticking straight out, and then we can begin filling in. So I placed a few more pieces to fill in any of the holes where you still see the foam. So we're going to start with some bricks of dry floral foam. This is a glue skillet. And then we'll take those 2 bricks and we're going to stick them together. Now that we've given it a minute, now we can come back in with more hot glue and we're going to secure this to the base of the container. Now we'll give this a minute to harden up. Now we have this beautiful hanging geranium bush. So we're going to start by taking the stem and just working it right into the styrofoam. Up next, we're going to work in some delphinium. Now we have some of these pretty pink flowers. So these are just inexpensive filler bushes. And to bring out a little bit more pink, we're going to use this ranunculus bush. So we're just going to take this whole bush, find the perfect spot, and then we can separate the flowers.
Here I am at Dollar Tree. I'm going to start this project with a couple of grease splatter screens. Take the screen off. We have this little cone, so I'm just going to cut that. So this is just a Dollar Tree candle holder, and we have our piece of foam, and then we have the 2 metal rings. I want to cut Gorilla Clear Grip and hot glue because I want it to stay. You want the pretty side on the outside. A little mini glue stick cut in half gave it a little bit more support, put down in there. And I'm just going to take and wrap that right around a generous amount of hot glue on the back of the acrylic gems. But I think I'd like to add a row of them down here also. I'm gonna put hot glue right down on our mirror. And I have one of these small discs of foam like you can get at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put that right down on there. I have all kinds of these pink Dollar Tree roses, and you're going to cut them off and then add a little dollop of hot glue, and we're just going to stick these right to the foam. I want to put our candle in there.
Head to Dollar Tree and a thrift store to pick up gems, fake flowers, floral foam, margarita glass, and a clear glass bowl. Take the margarita glass and turn it upside down. Glue the bottom of the glass and the bottom of the bowl together. Secure the foam to the base of the bowl and then add flowers and gems around the base.
I picked up 2 of these paper towel holders from the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to turn one upside down, and I am going to zip tie these together really tightly. So here we are, and I'm just going to cut these off. I'm going to paint my whole thing gold. I bought these 4" by 4" photo frames from the Dollar Tree that have gold glitter around them. And then I bought these mirrors that are 4" by 4". I am going to hot glue them. I'm going to take and glue these to one another and take out all of the little easels that hold up the picture frames. What I'm going to do is put my glue gun on low temperature, and I am going to stick this piece of styrofoam on top of this piece of styrofoam. We're going to take our paper towel holder that we have painted, and we're going to push that right down in there. I'm going to add a bead of hot glue, and then I'm going to secure it with some S-pins. I have some acrylic crystal drops and some very fine wire, and I'm going to feed some of these acrylic crystal drops onto my wire. And you're going to hang them right on the top part of your paper towel holders, and you're just going to twist that. I have almost a 7" craft chrome. Slide it right over top. I'm going to add a bead of low temperature hot glue and some S-pins. I'm just going to take each individual little floret off of them using low temp glue. I'm going to add just a little bit of glue, and I'm going to start covering my styrofoam ball. And what I need to do now is decorate this bottom part right here.